Your bombshell here with you. So, gonna talk about the events of the day. And yes, I have makeup on. Um, we went and had a family dinner today at Cracker Barrel, which was our family go-to place for when we have big events for anything. And it was just because I didn't want to cook dinner this month, so I got out of it. Next month, I'm not going to be so lucky because it's Mackenzie's birthday, and we're going to celebrate that on a Sunday. And I really we're trying to decide on that menu now. Mackenzie wants her choice. Of course, it should be. I mean, for her um, birthday, of course. But it's got to level out to where everybody else will be happy with it. We have one who won't eat cheese. We have one who won't eat chicken. We have one who doesn't prefer. I just won't do pizza. So we have to look at all these things that everybody won't do and go from there. So that's a little bit hard to acclimate amongst the family, but with me doing it, should be a grand thing. I baked a cake, which um, Cousin Penny didn't want any of it because she already had a cake at home, which I kind of understood that, but yet it took away from family time, so I kind of missed having her at the house. Just saying. And then um, only one person in the house ate a piece of cake, and that was my mom's friend Joe. But I had to cut up some of it and give it to our neighbor for her birthday because it was her birthday. A. B. Nobody else was eating my cooking, which kind of made me feel sad. Here I had fixed chocolate chip cookies or cake, and they could have their choice, and nobody was eating anything. So um, I told the people out there at Wendy's, and I also told one of the girls that works down here at my store and Wendy's that Grandpa be by to give her some cake tomorrow. So because after all it's going to do, since it's vanilla especially, is sit in our refrigerator because nobody in this household eats cake, let alone vanilla stuff. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's there. It's kind of heartbreaking and depressing in its own way. I haven't been feeling really well, in a side note, but I'm hoping it pass. And I would say put a prayer up there, please, for that to pass. My illness, whatever this is. Um, Probably overdone it today a little bit because, Cracker Barrel food. I love Cracker Barrel, not saying that I don't. But I had a sweet potato, grilled chicken, one biscuit, and then a fried apple. And I have not had fried apples in forever, but it sounded really good. So that's what I went with today with my iced tea. And let me tell you, as much as I love it, it's working against me. It really is. Um, I was kind of depressed too. You know, um, what can you say on that other than kind of depressed? Um, Question in the inbox came in. You know, you from time to time you reflect on your life. Are you ready to prepare for adoption? I would say I'm more than ready. Um, when you get to that point that you've been hurt, disappointed, and you just don't know, you're frustrated, and you don't know of how to make a man understand your point of view when he refuses to listen. So you look for ways around the problem. And the best way I know to do it is do it on my own and not have any more problems. So that's why I'm focusing so hard-headedly on adopting, which was not met with a lot of, you got this, we support you at lunchtime. It was met with a lot of opposition, and that hurts my heart. Um, Saying just be happy with, living your day to day. And sometimes, it's just not for everybody. If there's one thing that I've always longed for besides the title of wife, it's the title of mother, but more than that, to be the mother, to be the one that nurtures and sees the child throughout life, guides that child through right and wrong, guides that child to know who God is, and guides that child to watch them, first steps, and, past this grade to the next grade, to being there for the wedding day. To me, all those big moments is some moments that you shouldn't miss in somebody's life. You shouldn't have an excuse or a reason why you can't be present. And I think too many people skate by with excuses in life rather than real decent reasons they can't be there. And as I've told you when I do my Dear Bombshells, you can either make excuses or be the reason to rise above and be the better person. Lend a listening ear, an open mind, but most importantly, communicate. And if anything through these videos that you have learned, I hope that you realize some broken hearts never mend. And some just don't care about the other person after a while. It's like they don't exist. And I would not want to be that person. But what I will say is take those leap of faith. Don't play the blame game forever in your life. Don't be so egotistical that the only thing you care about is being right, being a right fighter for your cause, whatever it may be. We all make mistakes, but some mistakes are meant to be forgiven. And we all are not always 110% right. We all are not always, what's the word I'm looking for here? The one to be like, you know what? Wrong. You've done this wrong. I'm going to hold you to a list of accountability of wrongs and not know about what you went through as growing up to be the person that you are today, to the backgrounds and the struggles of each relationship. That's something that I always, I know some people would say I'm too open about, but to me, you don't really know me without sitting down and talking to me, because everything is just a portion of me. If you think about it, it takes a lot to make up a person, okay? You've got your school education, yes. You have those people that you went to school with that may know a little bit about you, but not a lot, because they didn't live in your household. They can't tell you how day to day went. Then you have, of course, your parents. Then after your parents, you have your grandparents. And then, you have your different job experiences. You have your coworkers. But again, it's just bits and pieces of people who know you from that point in time. They don't know you from the moment you went to your first grade school moment to, what happened at your work the day before or the day after. They don't know that. And to actually give a hoot about what went on in a person's life and not walk away at the first sign of trouble, to me, that is the stand-up character that you want in a relationship. And you should never be afraid to communicate. I also believe that you should not be afraid to share your feelings or how you relate. And if you ever do get that scared, then it's time to evaluate the situation that you're in and see if that's the right situation to be in. Oh, I feel like I'm rambling. I just don't feel good, but I just wanted to get my point across that there, in every situation, you can be a right fighter or you can be open to listening and understanding and talking back and forth, communication, and actually giving a hoot about what's going on in that person's life rather than judging them based on their past, their present, because you want to be a part of their future. So the best thing you can do is open your heart up and be the person to say, hey, whatever it is that we did wrong, let's try again. And there's so many relationship questions that I get every week where one's not listening and the other one's like, well, how do I make that person listen? You can't. And that's the sad state of affairs that this world is in. One person may be willing to talk, but the other person has to be willing to listen. And you can't make someone listen if they don't want to. So there's a heartfelt conversation for you on Valentine's Day weekend, isn't it? Tomorrow is President's Day. I don't think the banks are open. I don't think we have any mail tomorrow. I go back to work for the next 3 days. And you'll probably get a book review shortly. I just hope I feel better than I do tonight. Probably going to go to bed tonight because I'm just not feeling like my oats. And I don't like that. I think I'll sing one song for you. And then call it a night on here, okay?